I am live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. It's Brando Linick here, and I'm coming to you from my home office. We're going to talk about business. So this is really exciting for me, having started a couple different types of businesses over the last 3 years. Most of those things failed, and some of them worked. I can definitely tell you what to avoid, what to look out for from it. But with this video example, the review I'm going to do on this business model, talking about how people are making money from my personal experience and a friend of mine who has started a security guard company, how they went about when it came to this. And this is just one experience, okay? You can take it or leave it, but this is what I know of when it comes to it, is they actually approached commercial buildings. And what they would do is they would go to industrial and commercial buildings, and then they would offer their assistance, and they would offer their services. They would consult with management about security, and they would just ask them what their problems were, what they were having around the building that they wanted to stop, any complaints that were going on. If there was no problems whatsoever, there were no complaints, no people who were soliciting other people who are inside the commercial building. So it could be like office space with doctors, lawyers, dentists. So it could be just people of a profession. If there's no one causing problems or mischief, which in most buildings there is, when you have offices with lawyers, dentists, and you have secretaries and all this and more, there's usually a lot of foot traffic that are going in and out of those buildings because of clients, and then there's people who just wander in them, right? And this friend of mine who did this, they just built relationships with the management. I mean, if you can go to industrialized and commercial buildings, you can actually get a hold of management, and then you don't want to sit down and have a meeting with them right then and there. You want to schedule an appointment with them, and then you can build out your own security guard business through them. And then once you have one building down, you can go do 2 buildings, you can hire staff and employees, and you can work your foot up the ladder from there. I will tell you this much: if you're looking at it, and that in essence is how you can start it, if you're looking at this in addition just to be your own boss, just to create your own income, and if you're looking at it for similar reasons why I had looked at it, to start a simple business to make money, if that's really what you're looking for, I've got a lead I want to throw your way, alright? And this is not really for security guard business, but this is just being your own boss, creating your own income in general. This can save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you can take it or leave it. But my personal experience with this, before you consider starting a security guard business, if you hear me out here for a minute, goes back over the last year. Alright, it's actually just over a year. And this is when I transitioned from a traditional brick and mortar business where I was dealing with managing supplies, equipment, and outsourced employees, and I was paying those outsourced employees most of the time more than I was getting paid. And it was just really gruelingly painful when you're the business owner of a traditional business and you got to manage people, you got to maintain people, make sure they show up to work on time. People who call in sick, you got to put in more hours, right? Because you got to put in the hours to cover that person's shift, and it can be very painful. It can be a very painful process. Not saying that the business model is bad, but it's stuff you have to be aware of when it comes to traditional business. And because I was doing that for 2 years, and it was 16-hour days nonstop, I didn't really get to do the things that I wanted to do, which was travel, have time freedom and flexibility. I quit that, and it was because I came across an individual, this was just over a year ago, alright, who was building an income in business, multiple 6 figures, which is not average or typical, but they're doing this through the internet, without supplies, without equipment, without employees, without any of that overhead. And because they're working on the internet right from their laptop computer, I began to model and copy what they're doing. And in less than about 90 days after that point, for myself, I was able to create a full-time income business working part-time. Am I going to guarantee you the same results? Absolutely not, because I don't know what you're capable of. Results are going to vary, alright? Let's be grown-ups here. You have to put in work. You have to learn some things with every business. There's no gimmick out there. There's no scheme out there. I mean, there is some, but that's where you push a button and all of a sudden you get rich overnight, which it's just so unrealistic. In business, if you're not willing to put in the work, you're not going to reap the reward. So I hope that makes sense, which is why I share that with you, because if you want to build your own business, be your own boss, if that's really what you're looking for, before you consider starting a security guard business, I would highly encourage you, learn from a business perspective, talking business to business here, alright? Not what you're passionate about, but from a perspective of building wealth for yourself and your family. And wealth could be an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $5,000 a month. Learn to build a business that's highly profitable in a way in which you can make that money to afford what you want to do, alright? To afford what it is that you want to do, whether that hobby is traveling, whether it's buying a new home, whether it's moving out of your current apartment into your own apartment. Maybe you're sharing an apartment with family and you're sick and tired of living with family all the time and you just want to get your own place, alright? Whatever that is for you, learn how to build a profitable business in a way where you can actually do that. And from a business standpoint, without the overhead of supplies, equipment, employees, the best way you could do that is learning to build a business on the internet. And it's not the only way to go, but it's definitely the best when it comes out there to a profitable income and business model to get the results that you want. So that's just my tip. That's my overview. I hope that makes sense. And if you have questions or comments, put them down below. If you'd like to learn more information about building an income and business online from home, if you're coachable, trainable, you're willing to learn some things, you can always check out my site. I will put the link down below. It's 123marketingtips.com. You'll see a video there from myself explaining exactly how I've done this, how you can do it too, and then after that I'll actually introduce you to the same person who shared this with me going back just over the last year and a half here. So appreciate you. It's been fun, and regardless of the road you decide to go down, make sure to keep it simple and connect with someone who's getting results that you want, model them, and that way you can get the results that you want. Not necessarily the business model, but make sure you're doing something in a way that can help you get those results. So appreciate you, and I will see you on the beaches of the world. Take care.